Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Happy Friday. It may not be quite as happy in the next couple of hours. Oh, wow, what an aircraft. We're going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to pull some hairs out tonight, and there's several pieces of paper more than likely going to end up being flung across the room tonight. So, here's the deal, guys. A big thank you to PMDG for providing me with a copy of their fantastically detailed DC-6. Here it is, sat on the ground at Schiphol in Amsterdam. We're going to do our darndest and our best to try and get it up in the air and across the North Sea over to Manchester. Reason I picked Manchester, I know Manchester very well, like the back of my hand. I can get us into Manchester as long as I can get us within the vicinity of Manchester. So, anyone here got the DC-6? That's going to be my first question. If you have, stick around because I'm going to need you. I really am. Even though we've got the AI flight engineer on board, which we shall be utilizing a lot this evening, I most certainly would not be doing this without his help. So the DC-6, I've read through, I'm going to say I've read through the manual. That is an absolute lie. Okay, the 366 pages, I'm afraid, you know, 4 kids, life, work, I don't have time to look through that. But quickly looked through some of the tutorials that provided within the documentation, and also watched a few of the videos kindly done by PMDG as well. So let's see if we can actually get it from point A to point B. So good evening, everyone. Hyacinth, Shonan, Dr. Magic, Dark Fury. Oh, I'm pleased to hear that you've got this aircraft. Simon, this sounds like a Friday night well spent. I hope you've got the beer stocked with fridge, the fridge rather stocked with beer. Combrick, I don't have an EasyJet logo for this old bird. Now I've said that, I know someone will design one. Yeah, we've got one for the CRJ, don't we? Nick, this is, I'm so glad you're here, Nick, and not working, because this is the kind of stream I know that you love. Lucas, good evening. Nick's already getting the gym out as well. Simon, yeah, good to see you. Johan as well, great to see you all. Yeah, so, and Lord Kumi on Twitch. Christian Starmer, Pilot Pat, good evening. Wow, okay, I don't mind telling you, I am completely overwhelmed when you sit in here. I'm an Airbus pilot, okay? I fly things with the McDo, the flight management guidance computer, all the automation that goes with it. This has none of that. It has a very basic autopilot. So we're going to see if we can get from point A to point B with your help. With your help, I have to stress that. So when I'm floundering around in the flight deck thinking what on earth's going on here, that's essentially where you guys are coming in. So stick by the stream tonight and be ready to help me out. If I've helped you in the Airbus over the last few months, now's your chance to repay the favour. Oh, but so beautiful, and the sounds that the aircraft makes, it's just fantastic. And yeah, it's I can't wait. You know, even if we end up crashing in the North Sea, it could be interesting. Armand, you've done 4 flights in this thing today. In that case, Armand, I most certainly want you to stick around. Right, the Nightbot has been fired, Alex. Don't worry about him. He's gone. Right, okay, well, should we step inside, or should we just have a quick look around it? For those of you that haven't already seen this, I'm sure many of you will have had a good look at the various videos and information that's been in it, but just look at it. What an absolutely gorgeous aircraft. And although I said earlier that, you know, I fly the Airbus, and I'm just going to change the drone speed. I fly the Airbus, yes I do, with all its automation and things like that. But from the live streams, you'll have noticed and you'll have watched that I'm constantly, particularly for the departures and the arrivals, I'm always putting the VOR frequencies in. If there are any VOR frequencies to play around with, I'm always popping those in. I like, and I grew up flying, Cessnas, like a lot of you will have done in the simulator and that. So if you have to use things like the VOR navigation, I'm okay with that. I don't mind that at all. So fingers crossed, as long as we can actually work out how all the systems work and engine management and all that lot, we shouldn't be too bad. We should be able to get across to Manchester. If in doubt, we'll take off, head east, and then just find the M1 and follow it up. Nick, it looks beautiful, don't scratch it. I can't promise that. Dr. Magic, you've been up once and it didn't land too well. The Flying Dutchman. So here it is. Of course, I know no one's going to ask, but we're not on we're not on VATSIM. Has anyone dared fly this thing on VATSIM just yet? Honest question. It will be. I haven't even dared fly the CRJ yet. Do you remember how that stream went? Well, I think after 2 hours we eventually got off the ground. Let's see if we can get off the ground in less than 2 hours, shall we? And I think the help of the flight engineer is going to be vital for that. Johan, yeah, I had read that as well. Don't idle the engines when you land. Well, one of the things I also had a bit of a faff around with is trying to slow the aircraft down. I'm presuming the flight engineer takes care of a lot of the power settings. So fingers crossed, he's going to. He's not been drinking. If the flight engineer hasn't been drinking, we stand a chance. Okay, let's get on board. Alright, so at the moment, we could actually pop all these things on as well, and it's the sort of thing that I don't mind doing, that, popping it on and then just quickly nipping back outside again. Look at that, that's the sort of detail that we're talking about today, and that's just the external visuals as well. Obviously we've got the GPU, and everything's there. I love that they've got oil trays. I think that's wonderful. We'll obviously have to remove all that before we get going, but I want to show you this as well. We obviously need to load the aircraft up, but if I can just go to the fuel load manager, actually I want to, where's the ramp manager? Can we open up, how do we open up the cargo holds? Oh, they open. Is that the cargo hold? Is that this one just here? Yeah, if we open up the cargo hold, can we actually see inside that? Why is that not opening up? Does something have to be powered up? Hydraulics or something? Because as you add weight to it, you actually see luggage and bags being thrown in there, which is absolutely stunning, so I'm not sure why that's not opening actually, which is strange. Randy, you've flown it twice on VATSIM so far. Very doable as long as you plan for its limitations. It's a great aircraft. Randy, I don't doubt you. The only limitations on this aircraft tonight is me, basically. So let's have a look at the operational flight plan. So we're going to take probably about 3,000 kilograms of fuel. We only need 2.5 according to the briefing, but that said, if things go wrong, I'd like a little bit of extra fuel, and let's face it, things are going to go wrong tonight. I'm going to pop that flight plan into the chat on YouTube, so you guys should now all have that, so you can see what we're doing and where we're meant to be going. So I do have a checklist in front of me as well. So let's have a look at setting this bird up. So before I do anything, do you know what? What I would like is, and I can't find the setting in Flight Simulator itself, is just to aid me with learning where everything is in this. I should be able to hover over anything really, and a little tooltip should come on, and I can't find the setting in Microsoft Flight Simulator for that. If I go to the escape key, turn on the assistance options, which is what I believe it came under, Is it? It's none of those, is it? Is it a notification? Flying tips? No, it's not the flying tips. It's not the software tips. It's certainly not the objectives. I don't know if it's the piloting, controls, and aircraft systems. If I turn those on and hit apply and save, and just go back, resume. Yeah, the tooltips don't come on, so I'm not quite sure what it is you meant to tell me, because I could really use that. So it is. So I know I'm definitely pointing at what I'm pointing at. The other thing I've found, just panning around this aircraft, looking around, zooming. Look, just there. Oh, I've just moved something. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. So the as I was saying, just looking and panning around in this thing is quite dangerous, scrolling back and forwards, because there's so many knobs. Oh, good lord, what's that? See, I've moved something already. I don't know what that does. I have no idea what that knob does, and I'm moving it up and down like I'm an expert. But again, there's still no tooltips coming on, so it's I'm kind of flapping around in the dark just a little bit. So the range of this aircraft is 4,000 miles. Well, that's that's of no consequence to us. We're only travelling, what is it, about 300 miles across the sea. 305 miles. That was a good guess, wasn't it? So 305 miles to go. So let's see. We want about, what did I say? I can't remember. Let's have a look. So Jake, options, assistance, notifications, piloting, controls, notifications on. Did I turn those on? Let's have a look. Piloting and control notifications, turn them on. Yeah, they're turned on. Just not showing. Show the tooltips tab or show and hide them. I don't think there's anything on here with regards to that. Oh, what does this aircraft do with AI control? Oh my god. Can you imagine? We'll leave it. We'll leave it. Okay, so let's come down and look at loading the aircraft then before we do anything else. So let's go to the fuel loading page. Now, what did I say? We wanted... Oh my god, it's in pounds. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take... how much do we need? Let's... oh, do you have to respawn the aircraft after you've done it, Jake? Oh, I'm not doing that. Right. So then let's take... could someone do me a quick calculation? What's 3,000 kilograms in pounds? If anyone's happy to do that. While someone's doing that for me, so I want 3,000 kilograms in pounds. I don't know if there's an option to set this actually into kilograms. But let's just put some... Shall I load it up full? 68 passengers. All 68 passengers are putting their lives in my hands tonight. That's a bad idea, isn't it? Right, so that's all good. We don't want fuel up to the top. Okay, thanks very much for that, guys. So we want 6614 or close enough to that. Let's see, 6614. That'll do. Thanks very much, guys. Wonderful. Okay, so we've got the fuel on board. I've also loaded some passengers as well. Okay, let's start looking around and doing the checks. So basically, our parking brake is set. Obviously, landing gear is checked down, and then on the EFB we can just go to options. Now I am making sure tonight that all of the realism settings are turned off. Basically, I'm absolutely don't want any daft things happening, because if a circuit breaker behind me fails, then yeah, I'm nowhere near equipped with enough knowledge enough to sort that out. So we've set up the radio options, we've set up the ramp manager. Let's just go back to that just to show you that no GPS. I don't want GPS. I'm quite happy without GPS. Big thank you, Alex Jones, for your kind donation there. It's very, very much appreciated, Alex. Stick with us tonight. Hopefully we'll give you some Friday night entertainment. So load and fuel is done. Let's go up to the maintenance page, and everything is looking beautiful. Alright, so we're now going to go to our flight engineer, and we are going to ask him to run the before start checklist. J-Hog, good evening. You think you're stressed? Have you seen what I'm flying? Let's run the before start checklist. I have no idea what he's flicking now. Oh my god. It's click, 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 click.
Completed.
Oh, well, that was easy.
Tasted. Oil coolers and cow flaps. Water in position. Fuel and fluids. Checked. Pressurization. Set. Manifold and duct pressure. Checked. Radios.
So the radios are coming on.
Checked. Doors and hatches.
Oh, you can hear them removing and closing all the doors and sorting everything outside. That's perfect. Oh, look at that. It sounds so tinny. It's brilliant. It's like my first car.
Removed. 3 on board. Seat belts and pedals. Adjusted. Throttles.
He said throttles. I'm presuming, is that all done? Do I have to do anything? They all look to be at idle to me. Is that right? Has he stopped? Was it this thing here? Should I have pulled that down? Ah,
Set to idle.
there we go. That was my fault.
Forward at 3.
Randy, that's
Start checks complete.
a good tip. Thank you. So, thrust levers are idle. I'm not going to touch them. So, will the flight engineer remove the throttle lock as well? If it doesn't, I know what that is. That's this big yellow lever down there. Okay, so the flight engineer has now announced that we're ready to start engines. Well, I'm not quite there just yet, because I want to go ahead and set the avionics up. Now, I don't know the key bindings for all of this. Let's see if we can find one that's looking at the avionics. It's going to be the last one I choose. Isn't it? Oh, that's that'll do. Right. Okay. So what do I want? I I want to use the first waypoint we're going to, and I do have Navigraph sorted here. So here's the route. We're basically going to depart almost straight out. We're then going to go up to the Sierra Papa Yankee VOR. We're then just going to head eastwards from there, and we're certainly not flying, you know, old days. We're not sticking with Airways or anything daft like that. Then we're going to go over to, I think it's over to Norwich. Yeah, so we've got the Norwich NDB. We're not actually using that, but we've got that there if we need to. So we're going over to Marham. We're then coming up past Cranwell. We'll see if the red arrows are knocking about. Gamston, Retford Airfield, and then from there, I could have come home to Doncaster, Sheffield, but instead we're going to Manchester. So we're going to fly then direct to the Mike Charlie Tango, and from there we'll hope the weather's nice, and if need be I can do a bit of a visual approach straight into runway 23. Right, so let's just get rid of that. That first frequency I need is 113.3, so let's just change that. 113.3, and presuming that once I set that, this needle should change, unless there's any avionics need turning on, but I wouldn't have thought so. So if we swap that over, 113.3, there we are. That's now become alive. We can see the needle is moving exactly where I'd expect it to see. So it's obviously facing northbound, which is fine. We're going to be taking off northbound, so so that's great. We basically want to track that that DOB as we go, and we can see Oh, it's like being in a Cessna again when I can't remember the last time I did something like this with a an actual an actual OBS setting. Great stuff. So Ronald, you suggest we start the engines first because they need a few minutes to heat up. Well, fair point. Okay, so we're not using the GPS system. The aircraft does come with a GPS system. If those of you prefer that, can have that turned on. But obviously for tonight's flight, I'm not. So then, let's set local QNH. That's done. I just press B for that. And then let's get ready to do the engine start. So beacon lights, where would those be? Carburetors, where can we find the lights? They're the landing lights. Anyone want to give us a clue where the beacon lights are? Not going to be down there. Surely it's on the overhead. Is it not? Where's the beacon lights? Circuit breakers, water injections, alternate fuel. Oh, seatbelt signs. Seatbelt signs are on. Beacon lights. There we go. Beacon lights are on. Digital flight deck. I'm glad you're here as well. You've got the DC-6, do you not? I hope so. You're going to be my. You and Dark are going to be my engineers this evening. Right. Okay. So that's now. That's now all set up. I need to reset the camera view. 1 second. Let's just do that. There we are. So that's now all all set. Okay, so we're going to start the engines in order 3, 4, 2, 1. Let's check. So we want to check that the mixture for engine 3 is set to auto rich. Then we want to come up here, have a look for ignition, and engine ignition is set to number 3. Yes, it is. And engine select is done, and fuel booster pump number 3, pressure gauge number 3 on the main panel. Check, there's the fuel pressure showing nicely. This is one thing that I need to check with you guys as well. Just looking at this, I know there's 4 engines and I don't have 4 rows of dials here, so I'm presuming we've got engine 1, engine 2, oh sorry, engine 1, engine 2, engine 3, engine 4, just the way that's been looking at it. I've just realised, can you guys see my mouse cursor tonight? Yes, you can, so you know what it is I'm pointing at for when I'm pointing things wrong. Alright, so we're going to do the start, and then the flight engineer should start to count. Okay, ignition is at both. Let's go. So, let's start.
3,
That's 3,
6,
6. Waiting for 12, aren't we?
12.
Okay, so engine number 3 should be firing up. Oh, look at the needles, they're all wobbling. Oh, that is amazing. So, will it fire up successfully? Looks like it's doing an okay job. And I've just heard the switches flick back, which I believe means that that's all happy, sorted and done. Okay, so we're going to repeat that. We're going to do that for engine number 4. So engine number 4, and check the mixture, auto rich, ignition for engine number 4, set that. Engine selector is done. We need to set that to both. We need to flick that down. Let's do engine number 4.
3,
Oh, have I not got the mixture on? Hang on. Ah! There we go. Can we do this in time? If not, we're just going to have to do the start sequence again. Let's see if it'll run. That's it. I think engine number 4 is running. Ronald, are we still wrong? We've got it on auto lean. Let's have a quick look down here. Yes, there we go. So perhaps a bit easier to come down and there we can have a quick look there, can't we? Because they're quite close. Well, the next one is engine number 2. So let's have a look and get that one up to auto rich. I've forgotten what button it is to reset the reset the flight view. If anyone knows, would you mind telling me? Okay, so engine number 2, let's do that. So we want engine number 2 there, and start that one.
6, 9, 12.
Number 12, so start those two. Is it F? Oh, so it is. That means, can I didn't know if I could open the window and stick my head out of it. Well, let's have a quick look. There she goes. Okay, engine number 2 appears to be running nicely, and then finally engine number 1. So we're going to come down here, make sure I do this correctly because it's difficult to see otherwise. Something like track IR or doing this in VR I think would be a lot easier, wouldn't it? So let's get that to both. Engine number 1 there, and start.
3, 6, 9, 12.
My word, that is loud. Ronald, how do you open the engines, my friend? I've just opened the engines. I don't mean that. I meant open the window. Do you click and drag? Oh, now I'm getting a tooltip. I don't want that. Okay, so engines are now started. We can actually disconnect ground power as well. I forgot about that. So we can get rid of that. I think you can do that after the first two engines have started, haven't they? So now that's all done. Okay, so let's see what's next. The after start checklist. So to open the window, is it this button here? Does that open it? Oh, there we go. Ah, wow. Hey, if we fly below 10,000 feet, can we keep the window open? Nice, I like that. So I will, Chris. Yeah, let me just turn the sound up then a little bit. I don't want to deafen you guys. That's the only thing. It's very loud in my headphones. Oh, can you actually select how far you want the window up? That is amazing. Look at that. You can choose how far you want the window open. Well, let's close it and unlock that again, shall we? Okay. Alright, so the after start. Let's run this.
Start selected boost pumps. Battery switch. Flame entry. Generators and inverters. Checked and on. Emergency lights. Armed. Ground power. Removed. After start checks complete.
Okay, so after that then we need to have a look at the cowl flaps, check that they're open. Let's just make sure they are. That's these things here presumably. Yeah, they're all open. And then the gust lock, we need to remove that. Has that been done for us? How do we do that? Okay, do we just click it once? No? Twice? Any ideas, guys? Oh, there we go. Right, so that's now done. I'd say I'm not flying with ATC or anything like that, so we're just going to look at at taxiing straight out to the runway. Now, one of the things we also need to do is have a look at where we're going. Let me just turn that down a little bit, because I am aware that is very loud. It's very loud for me as well. So where are we going? Let's have a quick look. So we're basically going to push back, and then that's our departure runway just there. So we'll find that. Oh, is it just there? Ah, we could probably get out of it just here. Right. Now the pushback, there's a couple of ways you can do this, I believe. You can either use the inbuilt, is it Shift P, something like that, to push back, or you can you can use reverse. Now, the reverse, how on earth do we set this to reverse? I believe, is it this lever here, this bright yellow, bright red lever just there? Is that right? Can I do I pull that? I'm just having a quick read as we're going through this actually. So if using reverse thrust, we need to be careful. Don't use the brakes. Taxi very slowly, and we want to have around 1,000 RPM. So that's the reverse. And then we'll... Oh, I've just moved something. This is because I'm zooming in and out. What was that? Go down. Oh, my word. What am I pressing? There we go. Don't touch those, for God's sakes. They've even got a big... they've even got a big X on them. It basically tells you don't touch. Okay, so we're going to give it a little bit of throttle, and then we're going to start to move. So let's have a look and see if that works. So... Oh, we need to remove the parking brake as well, don't we? So, are we going to move somewhere? Oh, hang on, we're going forward. No, 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 no. Don't want that. I want to go backwards. Okay, so we've done that. And now, why aren't you staying there? No, every time I add throttle, it doesn't work. And now it's stuck. I'm clicking away, it won't move. That's annoying. I'm actually moving again. So when you set idle, the reverser resets, is that right? Oh, well, now at the moment the reverser won't even move. Okay. Alright, well, that's annoying, but there is a plan B. What's the turning circle of the DC-6? So... Ooh, no, don't do that. I think I'm just going to turn left and see what happens. Okay, so let's just spin it over to the left, and then we'll do a very, hopefully very, very slow turn, shall we? Oh, that man needs to move out of the way. That could be bloodshed for a Friday night, if not. He's very brave, isn't he? Okay, so there we are. We're taxiing. Don't think we need to run any more checklists at this point. We'll run. When do we run the before takeoff checklist? Is that done just as we get there? Yeah, I think. Now, you don't want to taxi this thing too fast, because I think if you do, you end up tipping it over. So let's just follow this around. Just the details of this cockpit are absolutely fantastic. The little inop switch labels and things like that. They really have got everything. Can you imagine in a few years if everything becomes as detailed as this? I mean, seriously, it's and then in VR as well. Holy cow, that would be amazing. Serious question, guys. What's the big steering wheel on the top for? Is that the tiller in real world? Obviously I'm using rudder to control it. Actually, the turning radius is 71 feet. Is that right? That seems quite big, actually, when you consider the Airbus is 24 meters. Oh, sorry, that's feet as well, isn't it? Sorry, yeah. Is that the rudder trim, the big wheel? Oh, okay. Well, we'll definitely not touch that today. I love that you guys have already got this aircraft down. Ronald, I thought I turned the tooltips on. They're not there. I could have really done with them, because like I said, I could just hover over it and see I'm pointing at the right thing. They're turned on, but I think you someone said you need to reset the respawn the aircraft with the tips on. So yeah, I'm not doing that. I've got a light on down here. What's that mean? I don't like that. Dark, have I unlocked the control surfaces? I'm sure the flight engineer will do that, won't he? Hopefully. Roning, runway incursion. Do you know what? I'm going to get rid of that. Hang on. So, is it... That's the aircraft system. No, it's the aircraft system I wanted information about. I don't want anything about... oh, actually, I don't know which one. Do you know what? Neither of them are working, so we'll just turn them off. I've got you guys. I don't need Microsoft Flight Sim to tell me what it is. Oh, digital, so that's low oil pressure, but that's fine, because we're not actually... they're just idling at the moment, aren't they? The reflections on this thing are amazing as well, aren't they? The way you move around, you can see the cabin reflected off the wings, the clouds, on a nice clearish day. So here we go, runway 36 centre, which is where we had planned to depart from. Nice long runway, so we shouldn't have any problems with that. Ronald, make sure all the oil temps is above 40 already, otherwise we'll lose engines. Oh boy, okay. Well, that's not good. We don't want that. See, this is where I want those tooltips, because I don't know which one we're looking at for the oil temperatures. We've got them down here. I just need to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. That one's okay. That's fine, yeah. Okay, let's get that. So I believe, Chris, our cruising altitude today is planned to be, I think it's 12,000 feet. Okay, so I'm going to hold that just there. I'm going to put that parking brake back on so we don't creep forward. Alright, let's run some more checks.
Boost pumps. Boost pumps on low. Fuel selector and crossfeed. Main tanks and crossfeed off. Autopilot and carbine. Off and cold. Hydraulic system. Down, forward, pressure and quantity checked. Okay. Flaps 20.
So the flaps have been set automatically.
Flaps set 20. Windows and turbine. Closed and on. Controls. Gust lock released. 3.
There you go, he just called the gust lock released.
On. Reach and cowl flaps. Reach and locked. Set. Transponder. On. Landing lights.
Okay, so I think now,
Extended and on.
as he finished, landing lights done.
Takeoff checks complete.
Before takeoff checks are indeed all complete. Okay, is there anything else we need to do? So the onboard engineer is going to control all thrust power settings and things like that. So give us a thumb up, guys, if we're about ready to go, because the next one is the takeoff, and this is where we just need to make sure we're doing a dry takeoff today. There's two different takeoffs. You can do a dry, or you can do wet. Now I think the max takeoff weight is about 86. Sorry, it's about 60. Start again. The max takeoff weight for the dry takeoff is 87,600 pounds, and where do we actually see our where do we actually see the aircraft? Where do we actually see the aircraft gross weight? Where's that shown? Anybody? Or is it just in the paperwork? Does it not have a does it not have anything telling us? So where's the gross weight? Anyone care to enlighten me on where that little nugget of information is found? Oh, is it on the AFB? Oh, right, hang on then. Let's just come back down to that. Was on the load manager. Oh yeah, gross weight there is 97,000. Okay, so it's going to be a wet takeoff. Alright, so back to that, and let's get ready to do a a wet takeoff. Wish us luck, guys. After this, then well, anything could happen, couldn't it?
Water injection. On. 30 inches stabilize. 30 inches stabilize.
Okay, so release the parking brake, but I'm holding the brake manually at the moment.
30 inches stabilized. Kill flaps. Kill flaps. Kill flaps set. Full power, please. Going full power.
Okay, so he's now calling full power. Release the brakes, and off we go. So what's this rotate at? Is it about 100 knots, I believe?
Full power set.
Christian, don't pick up like it's the Airbus. Off we go. So that's 100. Let's go very gently. Need a little bit of rudder as well, just to keep that tracking the centre line with our departure. Gear is selected up. So let that speed increase. The flaps are coming up now. Hands on flying. So now the flight engineer will obviously look after things power setting wise. We're navigating. We want to climb at around 165 knots, so we can just lift that nose a little bit just to get that speed back. And in a moment, see, this is where in the Airbus that autopilot 1 engage. That's not going to happen in this aircraft. I shan't be manually flying it all the way. There is an autopilot in this, which I'll show you in a little bit. I could really do with the autopilot actually, because I want to start tracking the next VOR. Now, as far as I'm aware, the aircraft only has one VOR receiver, doesn't it? So we can see we're passing that, and we're 0.3. How far away from that VOR? Still using our instruments now. About 3 minutes, 7.5 miles away. Oh, hey, does it have 2? Ah, that's good. Just need to make sure I still climb. Now then, the autopilot, or the gyro pilot, whatever it is you call it. So, just, alright, I'm checking to see if there's anything else the flight engineer needs to do at the moment. Right, let's see if I can remember what I read about the autopilot, the gyro. So, I'm going to talk through this before I put it on, for those of you that are familiar with this aircraft, just to confirm that I've done it correctly. So, we've got, we wanted this to be set to the gyro pilot. We then want to turn on the gyro pilot, which is just here, and then we basically steer it, don't we? We steer it left and right here, and up and down is with this cog here. If that all sounds correct, give us a thumbs up, those of you that that fly the aircraft. I shall await your signal. Say, I've not had time to study this. Okay, digital said no, so I'm going to hold. I'm still flying manually. Oh, there is a lever below, Christian. You're right, isn't it? That is that black one there. That's just there. Right. Okay. So which way? Do we turn on the mechanical connector, which is the black lever, first, or do we do that after we've got everything set? I did forget about that. See, it's a good job I checked, isn't it? Good job I checked. Now, whilst you guys are doing that, the next VOR that that I want, we're now going to fly almost due east. So I want to begin a steady left-hand turn. Whilst we're doing this, then let's go for, so we want that. Make sure I press the right lever just there, then the mechanical, which is just there, and now I can take my hands off. Hands off, and we're going to turn the aircraft over to the left as I want to be heading westbound. I said eastbound before, didn't I? We're heading westbound. And I'm happy at the moment that the aircraft's still climbing steadily. I don't want it to do anything daft, you know. It's not an Airbus. I don't want 2,500 feet per minute. But we do the climb angle just with this lever here, if that's right. So I can just increase that ever so slightly. Oh, there we go. We can see about 500 feet per minute. Again, I'm happy with that. We've just turned a little bit too far. I can just bring that back in. That metal button there. We'll lock that and set that. And there we are. So let's climb a little bit more so that we can hold that airspeed at 165 knots. So digital, I presume that's what you mean by trim the speed. There's no speed setting presumably on this thing. There isn't one in the CRJ, so there's not going to be one on there's not going to be one on this old thing. So up we go. And that's coming back to about 165 knots now. There we go, that's set. Nice. Right, the next frequency we need, although it's across the North Sea, is going to be Marnham, which is 108.7. Now, let's see, we may still be a bit too far away. Well, let's try 108.7. Oh no, we've got it. 150 miles away. There is 65 minutes. So, it's not actually giving us a bearing distance just yet. It's just picked up the distance from it. So, as long as we're obviously heading towards it, that's fine. That airspeed's just dropping a bit, isn't it? So let's just lower that nose a tiny bit. So Ronald, you're gonna have to help me out here as someone that hasn't studied this clearly as much as you have. So you think it's still on the METO power? The RPM is too high, should be around 2,400. Pay attention to it while you're increasing altitude and lose some power. Now, is that something I need to do, or should the flight engineer do that? Because I don't think I can control the thrust, or is it the RPM lever that I move, which is it's hiding, isn't it? Because you don't actually touch the thrust levers. Is it this white, the white one just there? Not the L. I don't know how I can get the flight engineer to do that for me. But the one thing I am really looking forward to getting to grips with, once I have got time to spend a bit more time reading about this, is just look at the views that you're going to get on this aircraft. I mean, that is amazing. That is absolutely stunning. And this aircraft sort of gives you the crossover between airliner flying and VFR, doesn't it? Christian, good evening. I'm sorry, I didn't. I wasn't. I didn't see you pop in there. Look at the vibration as well. It's vibrating all over the place. How amazing is that? Everyone said it, didn't they? From day one. Microsoft Flight Simulator. When study level aircraft, PMDG, etc. start to come to it, then it's going to be a whole different ball game. Well, here we are. Should I be concerned that I'm not picking up any directional information from the VOR? I've got distance. Presumably it's just the sensors can't pick it up just yet. So which clouds am I using? I'm just using a weather preset in the simulator. It's because I didn't want to do it in live weather. The live weather in Manchester is rubbish at the moment. So we've just passed 7,000 feet and it's climbing. So we're aiming for 12,000. Yeah, digital, of course, that is correct. The VOR is line of sight, and if you're too low, the distance that you can pick it up is reduced. I'm just wondering how we're managing to get a nautical mile distance at the moment. That just made me wonder. I can obviously pick that up. Ronald, so you think the... Well, I say you think, you probably know. You know far better than I do. That the climb rate is too low. What are we climbing at the moment? We're only climbing about 400 feet per minute, but look at the speed as well. We're only 165. Something's not right. Right, guys? Time to diagnose. What is not right? Tell me which lever to move, and I'll move it. I'd need to get the manual out to work out all the acronyms. We could level off, I guess. Ronald, the flight engineer didn't go into the climb phase. Is there... Oh, okay, so the next one is cruise, isn't it? But with the flight engineer enabled, exactly, you can't control the thrust and prop. So if we turn off the flight engineer and set 2,500 RPM and 40 inches MP, as Ronald said. Right, okay, next question, Ronald. Digital. How are we increasing RPM? Is that thrust lever or something else? And RPMs are obviously shown just here. Because what we've got at the moment, RPM at the moment is showing, what is it, about 27,000? It wants to come back. Y handle right from the throttle. Thank you. Well, that's all the way down there. Is that like not pulled back to the bottom? Okay, so hopefully I won't kill us all. Let me abort. There we go. So that's now turned off. So what am I doing with this? I've pushed that up. I can't see anything changing at the moment. Nothing's changing at all. Ronald, it did concern me when that was down at the bottom. I thought that can't be right. If I'm climbing, even I know things should be in the forward position. What's the red lever do? What's this thing? Mayday, look up at the feather setting on the upper panel. Let's have a look. Where would that be? Automatic feathering. Okay, I'm guessing that means they're okay. Move throttles forward 40 inches. Ah, right. There we go, we're starting to climb a little bit now. Digital, that wasn't me, I swear. I just touched the thrust levers and they jumped. Actually turn off the water injections. How do we do that then? That speed's starting to creep up. Set 40 inches on the throttle. Is that a number or am I... where am I looking? Digital. You're remember you're speaking to a guy that's used to computers. I've just moved something I didn't mean to move. So Ronald, I've disabled the flight engineer at the moment. Right, so if we set that back to 40. Thank you, Digital. Now you're speaking my language. Done. And did you say we wanted RPMs of around, what was it, about 2400? Let me just move over that. Is that this lever? That doesn't seem to be affecting the RPMs at all. Presuming that I am moving the correct lever. Or is it the red levers for the RPMs? So difficult to see as well, isn't it? Right, so for the RPMs, are we talking the red levers just here? Is this right? No, it's okay. It's okay, Digital. Didn't touch them. Didn't touch them. So we should be able to feather. We should be able to set the RPMs with the white. With the white lever, should we not? Isn't that right? Well, we've just passed 10,000 feet. I'll probably black out in a minute. Shall we just stop our climb? We're still airborne. I mean, that's good, right? How are we with this this VOR? I'm still getting no information on the VOR at the minute. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, guys. We'll level off and then we'll let the flight engineer fix it. So, to level off, we'll bring this back gently, and then we've got the I'm going to call it the VS. Let's VS level there. So that should level us off there, shouldn't it? So that's now set. And now what I'm going to do is go cruise.
Set cruise power, please. Setting cruise power.
So cruise power is set. Hopefully, look, the white lever is coming back. Are the RPMs dropping back as well? They don't look to be, do they? No. RPMs still not moving. When do we need to call Mayday, guys? Digital, you think the RPM gauges are broken? Well, hang on then. Nope. Percussion therapy doesn't work. Alright guys, you're all now flight engineers. We've actually got a problem. And I guess, you know what? The beauty of this aircraft is it doesn't work. It doesn't do what you expect it to do, and that's fine. It means you've got a problem. It means you've got to sort it. It means we've got to try and pray a little harder. Ronald, no, I don't. I thought I'd disabled all of. I thought I'd disabled all of the failures. Actually, hang on. Let me see. Let me see if I've got it enabled. But I didn't think so. No, everything's turned off. I could go to the back and have a quick look, couldn't I? So how do we do this? Is everything pointing up? Yeah. Could I find it and reset it? Okay, well, I think everything is in the up position, which is where it should be. I can't even find the one that I'd attempt to flick. Ashley, just a thought, don't suppose you have a keybind which is demanding full RPM? No, I don't use anything for anything like that. Oh, we're still flying straight and level. Well, we're still in the air. And it's still daytime. Okay, let's head back. Where's the manual? Where's the QRH? Down here somewhere. Oh, well. Interesting. I'm also 110 miles away and still not getting any information from the VOR. I'd like to get some by about 80. 80 would be good. Should we not be flying a little bit faster than this by any chance? What's the cruise speed? I thought it was, you know, we'd at least get up to 250 knots. Look at the little in-op sign just there, the way it's all faded out. Okay, so we'll reset the prop feather. Alright guys, how are we doing that? That's that's up here presumably. Oh Christ, I've just twitched something. What did I twitch? wing scoops. Okay. So, are we, this one here, are we going to reset it? Automatic feathering? Oh, hang on, as digital just had a light bulb moment. Okay, HD, HD, digital, I'm calling you HD. Awesome. Okay then, let's automatic feathering reset, and we'll see what happens. Oh, there. And now, should this be all the way down here? Is that right? The flight engineer's done that. Didn't think it should be all the way at the bottom. HD Mark II. Now the flight engineer is still controlling that. Look, scroll back up. Look at the red lights. Right. Okay. So I see. Right. Do we need to push? Do we push those? I thought they were just lights. Are they buttons? Unfeather it. Shall we pull? They should only be feathered if we're gliding down, shouldn't they? Those should be off. Right. Pull them. Yeah, digital. Do you agree? Pull them. We'll be in Manchester by the time we've got this problem solved. Pull. Pull. Oh, I can hear things changing. Well, something happened. I missed it because I was looking up. And the other two. Is there more? Oh, yeah. Right, we've pulled those. This one's still stuck high, isn't it? And reset the auto feather. So reset that again. Oh good lord, what's happening with this one? This one's getting dangerous. I was talking over the top of that. What did he just say then? I think he said cruise power set.
Cruise checks are complete.
Cruise checks all complete. Nick, how much gin have you had? So, I've got the RPM for, is that engine 4 presumably? That's engine 4. Engine 2 is doing something daft. Look at that. Interestingly enough, where's engine 1 and 2? Where's engine 1 and 3? Sorry, I've got 2 and 4, 2 and 4, 2 and 4. Where's engine 1 and 3? Or doesn't it show those? Are they linked? Right, so digital, turn the auto feather on again, then try pulling 1 and 2 feather buttons again. Okay. So, pull that again, did you say? reset and pull. I'm not sure if I've done that in the right order actually. Oh, are they behind them? Fair enough. Thank you. Well, in that case, engines 1 and 2 are running far too high. What's going on? Can I pull these throttles back? I won't be able to because the flight engineer's got... Do you know what? Hang on. Where's the flight engineer? I bought the flight engineer. And can I do this manually? Ah, right. Now that's done, we'll pop that up. I'm still getting what I would call asymmetrical thrust. Not sure thrust is the right word, to be honest. We're now losing airspeed. Holding our altitude, but losing airspeed. "56 minutes? Said 56. It's going up. Mind you, we're slowing down, so that'll be why. Right, I'm now controlling. My thrust levers were back at idle, which is why when I just moved that forward, you could see that. I'm still getting greater RPM on engine 1 and 2 than I am on 3 and 4. And I'm cruising at around 170 knots. This will take all night. I'll land in Heathrow if that's the case. Oh, hang on, I've just moved the white lever. Are they now going to reset? And okay. Let's set that around 2,400. Oh, boys and girls, I think we've done it. Stupid flight engineer. Where's that window? Jump out of it. Go on, off you go. Right, are we sitting pretty now? Christian, now I can turn him on again. Do you know what? I don't think I will. I think I'm going to leave him. I'm going to leave him off until we have to start descending, because then I'll be lost again. Where's England? Ronald, look, check the auto lean mixture. So that's down here. That's in the right place, isn't it now? It's not auto rich. So that's that should be fine. Yeah, good. You see, you can't fly the DC-6 alone. You need at least 5 engineers in the cockpit. I've got 137 of you watching at the moment. But a big thanks to Ronald and Digital. And you know what, guys? I'll be perfectly honest. For the first flight so far, I don't think we're doing too bad. You know, we had a problem, we solved it. So Ronald, what are we looking at? Set 2,250 RPM. So let's just bring that back a little bit. Halfway. There we go. And what was that? About 150 for the cruise. Well, I'm going to maintain this altitude, so 150, that seems like not very much. I think as well, what I've got to remember is that it's not a jet engine. There we are. Set. Oh, we've got some airspeed. Woohoo! We might get to Manchester before dawn. Digital. Thank you very much, Digital, for your lovely donation there. 15 Canadian dollars. He says for the post-flight pint or 5. Oh, Digital, you're so kind and so very knowledgeable and helpful as well. Thank you very much, sir. Hope we're providing you with entertainment for your Friday afternoon, anyway. So hopefully this is all looking good. Now, the only thing I've got to do next is blooming navigate. So I want to turn a little bit more westbound. We're a little shy of westbound. We're actually heading in the wrong direction. So let's just bank over slightly. Ronald, if it was a TACAN, I wouldn't have thought I could pick it up at 140 miles away when I did. Although actually, you're right, it is a TACAN. Let's have a look. We've also got Norwich NDB in there, which is 343. Now, where's the ADF finder on here? Oh boy, how on earth do we set that? Is that 3, 4, 3? How do we swap those over on here? ADF 1. Oh, honestly, how do I set? How do I swap those over? Do you push it? No. See that one? Ah, thank you. There we go. 343. That's right now. Where's the DME located? Are we flying westbound again now? Oh, cripes. I've flown far. I've pitched. Well, you know, actually, that's not the end of the world. That's probably okay. I'm not getting any ADF information either. That's ADF, isn't it? Just up here. Oh, we're lost, we're lost, we're lost. We're still getting closer to it. Yeah, we need to activate the ADF on the transponder panel. Have we done that? Oh, I was tuning the wrong thing. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't. I can't. They're not ADFs, are they? Yeah, ADF 1 is tuned, 343. That's what I wanted. And then let's have a look down here. I want ADF 1. Is that now turned on? Oh, it's still not showing anything. Presuming that's what we wanted, isn't it? Yeah, ADF 1. Wow, they don't move very much, do they? Digital, I know you said a post-flight pint, but what about a during flight pint? So I'm just having a look, see if we can pick up any other VORs knocking around. Can I have a look actually at Gamston, which is a way away, but let's try it, which is 112.8. Let's give it a whirl. 112.8. Flick that over, see if we pick anything up. Ah, let's go straight to Gamston. So what do I want to fly? I want to fly a heading of, let's call it 3, let's turn left 300. Okay, shortcut. Over to Gamston. Once we're tracking Gamston, Nick, I'll give you some outside view, promise. 51 minutes to Gamston. Oh Christ, then we need to start looking at going down. We don't want to come down too soon though, there are Pennines in the way. I just want to see land. Is it too much to ask to see land? Oh, Ronald, that's a good point. I forgot we could do that. So now, we've got the radial set. Can we, if we switch this to localizer now, it should just track the Gamston VOR, should it not? Is that how that works? Let's see. Okay, then let's go to localizer, and we're now tracking the VOR. Oh, now we can enjoy the view. So Ronald, you did your first NDB flight yesterday. You loved it, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, quite right. Even in the Airbus, flying using VOR approaches, of course, and things like that, they are a lot of work compared to what we're used to. Oh, I can see land. There's Norfolk, boys and girls. There's Norfolk. Yeah, I think that's quite right. I don't think I'd ever fly this aircraft using GPS. What's the point? I might as well hop back into the Airbus. I know how to fly that. So, serious question then, guys. Who has not yet purchased this aircraft and after watching this is thinking, I'm not going to? No, seriously. I'm hoping this... I mean, this is my first flight. This is my first flight in the aircraft. I'd sat in it before on the ground, sort of looked around just to try and get my bearings of where things were a little bit. But that was it. So hopefully this has been a great example of what the aircraft is like to fly the first time you get into it. Because it, yeah, I mean, well, we had a little bit of a problem in there, but thanks to your kind help, we got that sorted. And if it happens again, now, of course, you learn, you know what to do. So, Christian, you purchased it, but you've had no time to fly it yet. You see, yeah, I did watch some of the tutorials, but I didn't have time to watch all of them, and obviously that was being my, that's been a bit of a downside for me. We're just tracking right a little bit there, just check what's going on. How far away from that? Oh, we're about half an hour away from Gamston then. I like Gamston. Been there a couple of times before. Looks blooming good though, this cloud setting. For anyone interested, I'm not on default weather and I am not on default time, obviously, but I just set it to scattered clouds, scattered clouds, and it looks glorious. Nick, can you build a SimBrief OFP using VORs only? Well, yes and no. Let me just bring this in here 1 second. Right, so this is what I use, and as you can see, it's full of VORs, but I had to manually set all that up. I basically got Navigraph out, plotted a load of VORs that I was going to, and then just pop them in there. It wasn't SimBrief will not do VORs by default, as far as I'm aware. So if that is possible, I've not come across it. Look at this, we've got land now. Oh man, look at that. This is another reason I love the simulator. I could watch this all day. And it's another reason I don't mind flying things like the Airbus with all this automation, because I can just sit and watch. And I never get tired of that. Ronald, I think that's a good shout, particularly for this aircraft where I don't want to be using waypoints and you just want to use VORs and DBs. Little nav map is a perfect tool. Is that online or is that a program? Is that an online process? Oh, look at that. That is so neat. So for anyone that's interested, the Antonov 225 was in England yesterday and departed, I think it was this morning. Hasn't flown for 10 months. And after the Airbus Belugas, it's my little lad's favourite aircraft. I wish I'd have known. I'd have been very tempted to nip him down to Bryce Norton where it landed to go and see it. So it's the first time it's flown in 10 months, I think it is. So everything's still looking good. Everything where it should be. There's a strange thing going on there just with the livery. I don't know if you can notice that. Oh, I can press something there. I don't know what it is, but I can press it. Actually, T. So, do we need to press Control W when we've landed? Then is that the the prop reverse once we're down? Actually, you think we're over Suffolk? We might be, to be fair. I don't want to pull the VFR map up. That's cheating. I also notice as well, if you're looking outside and looking in sometimes, I can see straight through the aircraft look, which is a bit weird. Christian, that's a good point. Better on the FPSs because it moves slowly, doesn't have to load stuff in quite as fast. Digital, have I calculated the top of descent distance? No. I haven't. I know there's a formula in there to work it out, isn't there? Not that I can recall it off the top of my head. I only have one formula in my head, and that's for the Airbus. But we're at 10,000 feet. If we got to Gamston and then headed over to Manchester, we shouldn't be far off, I don't think. Because what we could probably do right at this moment is we could come into the Manchester. We could pick up the Manchester VOR, no problem now. But if we fly from the Gamston VOR, oh hang on, let me show you. If we fly come in straight from the Gamston VOR and land on runway 23, then it becomes almost a straight in approach, rather than coming up down here and then have to circle back around and come back in. I'm not that advanced yet. So if we just hop back inside, let's see, how far are we away from Gamston? Oh, still about 100 miles away, 20 minutes. Christian, good night, my friend. I know you're going to come back tomorrow and check out, just see how the landing went, aren't you? And you'd be crazy not to, because it's not going to be butter. I probably could open the door for you at this height, Sir Christian. Good night, my friend. So Ronald, that's fair. 500 feet per minute, 220 knots, 70 miles. I was still hoping I'd find that NDB working, but appears not. Should be able to get the East Midlands one, which is 393. Should we try that? 393? I just want to see this dial working up here. So, oh, hang on. 3. Scroll that all the way up, this could take a while. 3, 9, oh, there we go, 393. Let's pop that in. And any luck? Ah, it's still dead, isn't it? Nothing, nada. It's turned on, isn't it? ADF1. Yeah, it is now. How strange. I'm just looking, it is getting rather late here. It's 20 past 10 in the evening. I'm wondering if we should divert and land at Gamston. It's called Retford, the aerodrome. Let's just see if we can get some. We've got some charts for it. Echo Golf November Echo. Let's have a look. Echo Golf November Echo. And I'm aware it's getting late for some people that are watching the stream as well. Oh, there's no charts for Gamston. Oh, I thought there would be. It's quite a big private airfield, Gamston. I thought there'd be something. So that's strange. I would have thought there would have been at least some sort of chart available, but it appears not. See, the other thing we could have done is we could have gone really special and done the DME approach for East Midlands, which is 353.5. Except I don't seem to be picking any up. 353.5. Let's try that. 353.5. No. Anyone got any idea? Has anyone actually had an NDB working in the aircraft? I'm just straining my eyes down here. Everything's turned on that should be turned on, isn't it? That should be turned on, actually. Yeah, ADF is turned on, just as you can see there. Yeah, did I update the DC-6 today? No, I didn't. Was there an update today? Tell you what I did get. I got a 500 megabyte update today for the simulator. No idea what it updated. Absolutely no idea. Oh well, never mind. So I'm just trying to see if we can find any other NDBs to try and tune in, see what we can find. What about Cranwell? Cranwell's quite close. We should have been flying over Cranwell. So 423. Let's try that. 423. Let's go ahead and pop that in. Four, 2, 3.0. 423.0. Ah, hello. Right, so we're actually flying almost bang on towards Cranwell then, aren't we? Nice to see that's working. Obviously we don't get a distance from that, do we? Should the transponder be on one way or another? I would have thought so. Was there a multiplayer issue yet? What, in the DC-6? I wouldn't have had a clue if that was the case. Lewis Aviation, good evening. Nick T and Roosevelt as well. Joining along, nice to see you. The things that always confuses people as well, right at the very start of the aviation career with VORs and NDBs, is VORs. You've obviously got you can work out what radial you need to fly. Also gives you a distance as well if it's got if it's DME enabled. But NDBs, just the name of it, it's a non-directional beacon. But we've got a direction. That's all you've got. You have a direction. But it's basically a direct point-to-point direct. You can't fly radials off them or anything like that. Twile Flocker, you brought a note from your mother. Was it a get out of gym class? So pretty soon the fun's going to start when we attempt to go down and hopefully land this thing. I said the reason I chose Manchester was because I was familiar with it. Oh yeah, so there was a crash to desktop when there was more than one DC-6 together in the neighbourhood. Wow. That must have been pretty annoying, because from what I gather, this has been quite a good selling airliner for PMDG. And why wouldn't it be? I think they've managed to turn it around pretty quickly, haven't they? When you think about it, they've turned it around very, very quickly. I know the simulator's been out, what, is it 10 months now or something like that? But yeah. Ronald, can I show you the lower dials and the centre pedestals? So are we talking down here? Oil temperatures and whatnot. So they're in the green. I guess that's good. So that's okay. Fuel pressures within range. So going on what we know, we're tracking the Amsterdam VOR, which is more or less the exact same bearing as tracking the NDB. So from a navigation point of view, we're basically tracking straight over here, aren't we? Nice straight line between the two. And once we get to Gamston, we'll make a left turn. Fly over Netherthorpe. That's the airfield I first flew out of in real life. There's Doncaster, Sheffield, my closest major airport. I'm just looking, is the Sierra Mike Fox NDB no longer operational? There used to be an airport in Sheffield, not a very successful one, and it had an NDB, ILS and NDB, and it looks like that's disappeared now. It's now a business park, so that's probably why. And Charles, thank you for subscribing, my friend. "43 miles away." Nick, you like the way that one of the gauges at the top is different as it's been replaced by a newer version to make it realistic. Yeah, they've modelled it, haven't they, on a real airline. They literally went in to a real one and they modelled everything. I mean, look at the scratches down here. I mean, that's crazy. And one of the things that you may or may not have noticed is just look at all the screws. So like the main panel screws, they're not all positioned exactly the same orientation, and they're scratched, things like that. I mean, it's awesome, isn't it? Charles, why no GPS? Just because we're being more true to the time, 1950s. Ronald, yes, somewhere there's a spelling mistake, isn't there? And that's not a mistake, that's how it actually was in the real aircraft. But I've no idea where it is. We're all going to be searching for that now, aren't we? But yeah, somewhere there's a spelling mistake. we're all reading this now, aren't we? Right, so as we're 30 miles away, looks a bit ominous over there, doesn't it? But that's where we're going to be heading. And pretty soon we're going to want to start looking at tuning in the Manchester VOR. Where is the VOR2 receiver? Is that this one over here? Manchester VOR is 11355. See what my memory's like now. I'm going 11355. Our survey says 11355. So where is the second needle for that? There it is. So that should start to move round to the left, shouldn't it? Because obviously, as then we get over towards Gamston, close that down. As we get over towards Gamston, then we're going to be heading around 275, 280 at a guess, something like that. Have they been modelled separately, Ronald? So are these now showing... Will that now show the distance from the Manchester VOR? I think it does, doesn't it? If we move this around... Oh, look at that. So they have got them working independently. That's neat. Does that mean that we've also got a distance showing over here? No, that's still Gamston, isn't it? 27. Yeah, but there's the OBS set for Manchester, and you can see that slowly turning as well. Cool. Mayday, how do they navigate over the Atlantic when you're out of range from any VOR? Well, at night time, there's a, where's it gone? There's a portal to look through, and they navigated by the stars, just like ships did. And we can see the Manchester VOR bearing is slowly starting to shift. So, what do you reckon, guys? Should we start heading down? In fact, I'm talking rubbish. That's not the VOR, is it? That's the NDB. That's the ADF. Thanks, Ronald. Yep, you just confirmed that for me. So we're just passing over then. We're just passing over Cranwell. RAF Cranwell. Should be down below us then somewhere. Don't know if we'll see it. Oh, there it is. RAF Cranwell. Where the Red Arrows used to be housed. I think it was Cranwell where they were based. So, even though we're flying a relic of an aircraft, I still want to have a look at the arrival charts. I'm not landing on runway 5, I'm coming in on runway 23 right. So it's going to be, we're certainly not going to be flying a star of any sorts. Because I don't think there's any stars here that just use VOR. So it's just going to be the normal approach. And 2-3 right, it's going to be the VOR DME, presumably. Although it has got ILS, isn't it? What am I talking about? We can do the ILS. So the full procedure is to obviously fly over the VOR, then out and back around again. Noonthorn21 on Twitch. I have the monthly subscription for Navigraph. So to get the distance for NDB2, we should be able to flick that, shouldn't we? So we're 60 miles away. Right, let's head down. So what's the platform here? I also need to be aware minimum safe altitude. I think it's 3,500 feet at Manchester. So let's head down to 4,000 feet. In which case, I'm going to put the descent checklist.
26 inches, please. Setting 26 inches. 26 inches set. Descent checklist, please. Altimeters and flight instruments cross-checked.
Oh, hang on, I need to turn that off. And now we should be able to lower that. Oh my god, that's fast. There we are, down we go. Yeah, so I was trying to move that, and I'd still got the whatever that's called in this aircraft turned on. Yeah, digital. I'm still in my Airbus, and I'm just flipping the things and allowing the and expecting the flight control computers to do the business. So down we go. Can perhaps go down a little notch more. That looks good. Yep, gentle, it's a lady, not a plane. Oh, fairly certain we all know some ladies that don't like it gentle either. I love seeing the yellow cornfields. Were they there at the time of the simulator's release, or has that all been texture updated? Ronald, just in case something goes wrong, you only want to re-enable the hydrolysis again. Hydrolysis? No, to me that's a chemistry term. What on earth are you talking about? That's something down here. That's where I need. That's where I need my tooltips to come back on, don't I? Right, we're going to be making a left-hand turn then. Any second. To 13355. So, right, I'm now going to turn this. So, am I going to want to go back to the gyropilot? Otherwise, it's going to spin me over in a second, isn't it? So 13355 coming up now to track the Manchester VOR. Sorry, 11355. Pop that over. And let's make that left-hand turn as we start heading towards Manchester. Okay, so let's do that, and now track that localizer setting. Okay guys, in order to perform an ILS approach in this thing, you're going to have to be gentle with me. But I can't stop looking out the window. I really can't. Wayne on Facebook. Good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Right, so what's this hydroalcoholics things we're talking about? To say it was a black lever? Is that this thing down here? So we want to do it. Is that on? It is on, isn't it? Hi Wayne, hope you're well. Fuel dump, let's not touch that. Oh, I press so many random switches in this thing just because as you're zooming around and clicking things, there's just that many different things. So this is already on, is that right? The hydraulic system is on. Okay, so we're 40 miles from Manchester. Now, what are we going to do about the ILS frequency? So, I'm presuming ILS frequency is 109.5. We're going to get this on standby. Ian, it's going to take years to learn. Yeah, absolutely right. Next time I'm on here, I'll jump back in the Airbus. Back home. So all is going well at the moment. And thank you for the like and the follow on Facebook. See guys, that actually makes me feel good. So yep, it took you a week just to get the basics, and say this is the first flight, I think we're doing too well. I think we're doing quite well. We sort of like pulled a lot of information together, guys. So I'm pretty certain with your help tonight I'd have blown something up. Without your help rather tonight I would have blown something up by now. Wayne, where is the switch that plays the loop of on Ilkley Moor by Tat? Oh, that's just sat to the right of me. Yeah. There you go. Few switches play that. I don't know if you I don't know if you could hear that or not. Yeah, I'm not going to look at the fuel dump until I'm on the floor, guys. That's that doesn't sound like fun. Now, I'm aware that this aircraft doesn't slow down too well. I'm hoping the flight engineer is going to sort that out for me. Thanks, Digital. Yeah, note to that. That's just coming back a little bit, isn't it? Let's keep that down. There we go. See, this is just so weird. I'm thinking I'm well below profile at the minute. I'm 30 miles out, 10,000 feet normally, and I'm just coming up on 7. Oh, so Ronald, once you set the AFE to in range, you get control over the throttle again. That is a very, very big helpful piece of information. So now 30 miles away I should be able to pick up ILS, although we're a bit high. So in theory, can I not just program the ILS frequency in 109.5, because we're basically headed here, and then track a northbound heading, intercept the ILS and come in? Would that not work? That's what I'd do if I was in a that's what I'd do if I was in the Airbus or a Cessna. So when would you guys start to slow the aircraft down and come within range? To me, in my mind, I'm within range now. I don't want to pop out one of these clouds into the Pennines though. I'm just itching to fly northbound and intercept the ILS. So when we level out at 4,000 feet, okay, good. Yeah, Ronald, we'll have we should have that already. If I do that, yeah, there you go. Look, we're 24 miles out, which at this speed is 6 minutes away. That's no good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to head north. I'm going to continue the descent. I'm going to go off that. I'm going to flick that over to 1095. Right, that's now an ILS that we've got just here. Let's make a right-hand turn. I say platform altitude is 3,500 feet. As I'm saying that, I'm looking for a dial up here to scroll back down to 3,500 feet. Yeah, control the speed with flaps, not with throttle. How on earth do we slow it back down into the... in fact, what are the V-speeds on this thing? Where's that shown? Is that all the way up here? I can't read that. My eyes are rubbish. So once we level off, we want to set 90 BMEP. Thank you, NB. And here are the Pennines. Oh wow, do you know it's great doing VFR stuff? I know where this is. I know exactly where this is. I know where that road goes. I've walked over that bridge. Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? Perhaps just want to get down a little. In fact, no, we don't. I was going to say we want to get down a little quicker. We don't, because look, we're below the glide slope, so that's all good. Right, let's level that back up. I keep forgetting you don't set a heading in this thing, you set left and right. Dwyle, that is indeed the dam which flooded a village some years ago. However, it was done deliberately. They flooded the village on purpose to make the dam. So no one was killed or harmed in the making of that. Okay, now let's come back, because as I was talking, yeah, Ronald, I completely forgot that it wasn't going to stop on the heading I wanted it to stop at. Stevie G, that was Ladybauer. Quite right too. I was wondering if someone would give me the name of it. We've got Ladybauer, we've got Dam Flask, there's Underbank, although no, that's a bit further out. Okay, I'm coming up on 4,000 feet in a moment, so we'll start to level off as well. I'm also going to start to bring this to centered. Let's just slow that down. Yeah, Ladybauer, the one which it's got the massive plug, and underneath it, when the weather And not when the weather, sorry, but when the tide, not the tide. What am I thinking? When the rainfall is low. If it gets that low, you can still see the church steeple. Right, let's just start to level this off. Oh, not that much, not that much. Right, so if we set that, that'll level off. Let's now go in range.
Cooling turbine. Normal. Fuel booster pumps. On low. Fuel tank selectors. Mains on, crossfeed off. Hydraulic bypass valve. Down. No smoking signs. On. In-range checks complete.
Right, so how on earth do we start slowing down? In-range checks are completed. But I want to start slowing down. I'm never going to get below 175 knots. Set throttle to 90. I can't. The throttle is stuck at the moment. Do I need to disengage flight engineer? Because he's not letting me slow at the minute. Right, okay, turn off the flight engineer, thank you. Turn that off. And we're going to set, was it 70 and 90? Oh, I've turned off the flight engineer and my thrust levers are still not working. I'm going to click abort again. I have no control over my thrust. Nope. Can we do it manually? Nope. They're stuck, guys. Throttle lock. Is the throttle lock on? Where's the throttle lock? The lever next to the prop. Isn't the propeller the things on the end of the engines? Is that this thing here? Ah, right, okay. Is that working now? Ah, gotcha. Come back, come back, come back. We're also now need to start. We're below the glide slope. We're below the glide slope. I need to go down. Should be intercepting ILS any second. Right, so can we now do flaps 1? Flaps 1. What's that? Flaps 20. That's the first degree of flaps. We're very high. Something has gone wrong with engine 1. I don't know what's gone wrong with engine 1. It shouldn't be showing different, should it? Is engine 1 still running? Ooh, it is. Seven miles out. There's an airport somewhere. I think we've got flaps 20, have we? Oh, we have now. Flaps 20. Can I move that thrust lever a bit? Got to be careful, otherwise I'm going to base asymmetric thrust. It's not going to like that. I'm still chasing that glide slope. Oh, look, runway's in sight, but we're far too high. Right, okay. I'm going to abandon this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's level off. We want to level off about there, actually, about 3,500. That's minimum safe altitude over this part of the world. So that's fine. I'm going to level off there. Let's just go lock there. Right. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin her back round to the left. We'll come back in. So let's spin that back left. We can just see we were about to catch the ILS, but I was far too high. So I'm going to just come in. I'm just going to come in and do it again. I'd rather do that than spend the last 2.5 hours streaming to crash because I couldn't be bothered to make the approach properly. So guys, you can now just make sure my logic on this is correct. We're going to leave the thrust levers where they are. We are. Why are we getting lower? I thought I put lock on to holders, unless we're just stalling the aircraft. Let's just watch that speed a little bit. Hold that there. So we're just turning around, that's fine. Let's now just come back up. What I'm going to do is just as I would do as if I was in the Airbus now. We're going to fly straight and level. We're flying away from the airport. I want to hold 2,000 feet. Let's turn that off because that's not working. Right, we're going to hold this altitude now, about 2,000 feet. I'm going to wait for the glide slope to come up, then I'm going to make a left base and come in. So what have we got? We've got 120 BMP at the moment. Yeah, turn the gyro pilot to approach the lights. There's no ILS. Can I not shoot the approach manually? Got information there. Otherwise, because if I turn that on, what's he going to do? I want to control the aircraft at the moment. I don't want it to turn to the ILS, not just yet. Anyway, there we go. Look, there's the glide slope. So presumably now then, let's make a left bank. We'll intercept the ILS. We'll intercept the glide slope. And we'll see if I can hand fly this thing in. Even as I say that, I'm thinking, what? Hand fly it in? Okay, so autobahn is still on at the moment. Is there a schedule for the flaps, guys, or are we just getting configured as and when it feels right? Where's that airfield? So we're about 1,500 feet, we're 6.5 miles away. Surely we need some sort of before landing checklist. Bit more flaps. And there you go, that's the ballooning that we would expect. Here comes that glide slope. I'm not going to be descending at 700 feet per minute, that's for sure. Okay, let's run the before landing.
Flaps 20. Setting flaps 20. 20 flaps set. Mistress reach, wait. Auto reach.
Right. I'm turning off that autopilot. I want control now, please.
Gear up and down.
Oh my god.
100 RPM set.
Ah, we're going to crash.
Plus 3 degrees. Tail flaps set. ADI. ADI off.
Where is the runway?
ADI is off. Landing lights. Speed good. Extending lights.
I can see a runway. Should we go for it?
Lights extended and on. PRB. Calling call.
I'm hoping the
Set call.
flight engineer sorted out the problem I was having with the rudder. Well, no, the rudder was fine. I think it was asymmetrical thrust that did it. I'm trying to bring that thrust back a bit now. Don't want to drop like a stone. My god, this hasn't got fly-by-wire controls, has it? Okay, let's just hold that pitch attitude right there. Ugh, sit up. We're drifting to the left of that centre line. Get back in. I don't think I'm going to be flat. I might flatten that bump that HD doesn't like at this airport in a minute. Come on, the bump can meet me. We're down. Down we go. And breathe a huge sigh of relief. Well, that was an experience, guys. That really was. And my inadequacies of knowing how the prop planes of old work showed up there. But we managed to get it down on the tarmac in one piece. And we're all alive. Props are still spinning. And I don't think we've gouged anything out of the runway either, so so that's good. I don't think the passengers would have been too thrilled at some point if they'd have looked out the window. Hopefully they all had their shutters down. But yeah, what a fantastic aircraft. It really is. And it's the sort of aircraft that if you're going to fly properly, then you do need to spend a heck of a lot of time reading the manuals. I say there's something like 366 pages to be able to understand how to do that, and you can understand why. And that's testament as well, of course, to the amount of detail that the PDMG have popped into it, because it's phenomenal. Everything works, or rather everything doesn't work, which, as you all said, is exciting, because we know from the live streams of the Airbus, everything normally works. Very rarely do things go wrong, and when things do go wrong, it's usually pilot error, whereas there's mechanical errors in this thing. So it's beautiful to have that in. And of course, I didn't have failures enabled or anything like that. You can have loads more things with that. You can have circuit breakers popping out, all that sort of stuff. So there is so much more to get out of that. If you've been watching that tonight and you've not got the aircraft and you're still on the fence with it, if you're committed to wanting to learn to fly it correctly, not like me tonight who basically just jumped in and hoped for the best, but if you're wanting to fly it correctly, then it is well worth the money that that the aircraft costs. So a big thanks to Digital, Ronald and everybody else who has helped me navigate from Amsterdam to Manchester this evening. It's been a great way to spend a Friday night. I loved it. It's 11:05 now. It's definitely B&B time. Big thanks to all of you for joining me tonight. I hope I provided you with some entertainment for a Friday anyway. Next time we'll be back. I'm sure we'll be back in in the Airbus until I've spent a little bit more time trying to work out how on earth the DC-6 can be piloted properly. Things weren't going right on the approach, were they? But we managed to pull it back off and touch down. So, Nick, thanks for getting you drunk again. No problem. Big thank you as always to those that have donated and contributed to the channel during the stream tonight, and of course the Easyjetsimpilot members. Big thanks to all of you for your continued support. I look forward to seeing you all again soon, and I'll chat with you guys on our Discord server as well. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.